gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another episode of the Rob Dog Sport Brief. And this time around, as you can tell, we are not in the primary studio. We are in the secondary one where I do a lot of stuff behind the scenes with my desktop sitting right over here, but off to the side of the screen that you can't see. Because when we're done with this, I'm going to be doing some edits and homework and all that fun jazz. But with that being said, a lot of stuff has happened in the world of sports. Like, obviously we just had the Super Bowl a couple days ago over here, and yeah, Seahawks won it, yawn. It was basically what I expected it to be. I enjoyed watching a good defensive game. However, I got bored because I have no interest in either one of those two teams, and yeah, I learned that the Super Bowl gets really boring when you don't care about either of the teams playing. And so glad I did not waste my time with any of the halftime shows. Like, seriously. But with that being said, since there's not going to be a whole lot to talk about in the world of NFL until some free agents sign in March and the draft in April. It's like around the free agency and draft, there ain't going to be a whole lot to talk about. And then after the draft is done, we aren't going to be talking football again until August with the preseason with, well, I guess some training camp stories in late July. But for the most part, we won't be talking football again until at the very earliest, the end of July. Or if there's some, like, big name that gets cut in June 1st. But that being said, good riddance, football. Good riddance. I am not going to miss you until September. Goodbye. And if the Brewers keep it up, I will not miss you until October. Goodbye, football. We do not want you anymore for now. We'll be happy when you come back in the fall. But in the other football news I'm looking at here, we have North Dakota State making the jump. They were a perennial powerhouse in the FCS. They were hammering out national championship after national championship after national championship. NFL draft pick, NFL draft pick, NFL draft pick, NFL draft pick. They hammered out 2 first-round quarterbacks, even though Carson Wentz and Trey Lance are not much to be proud of. Trey Young's a basketball star, but probably couldn't do any worse than Trey Lance did. However, they are making the jump from the FCS to as high as you can go to the FBS and joining the Mountain West in football only. So football only, they'll be high as you can go in the Mountain West for FBS. But basketball, baseball, softball, volleyball, all the other sports, they'll still be in the same conference they're in now. How that works, I don't know. I really don't know. However, they're filing for a petition to be in the same exact eligibility as everyone else. And I mean it like everyone else. Got a text message from a friend of the show about the top twins in life, and for a second I was kind of concerned it would have been something else, because normally I don't receive text messages at, let's see, was it 21:30 or 21:31 or 9:31 at night? So thanks for giving me that slight heart attack, Dawson. Thank you very much for giving me that slight heart attack there. Because for all I know, that text message could have been something important. I wouldn't have been upset if it was actually a girl, though, but that's a story for off air. If you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. It's on a need-to-know basis. But anyways, back to sports. North Dakota State. They are going to be arguing with a petition right out of the gates that they should be eligible for the college football playoff. And honestly, I don't see why they should be deemed ineligible. In this day and age, you must wait 2 years before you can be eligible for the college football playoff and bowl games in the FBS compared to the FCS is stupid. We have entered a day and age where it does not mean jack shit anymore. And I mean this. It doesn't mean shit anymore. In the era of NIL, ESPN, Fox, NBC, CBS, Hulu, Amazon Prime, straight to consumer streaming of these individual conferences having the Big Ten Network, the SEC Network, ACC Network, the Missouri Valley Conference Network, and D3, the WIAC Network. Now that you got for those of you who are watching on YouTube, are going to really, or just watching it later in general, are going to really enjoy watching those hand motions to get the point of it doesn't matter, especially with the era of NIL. College sports aren't what they used to be. They never will be again. However, and I mean this, however we look at it, it's I understand why it's there as a penalty, but we're going to penalize teams for bumping up and going through the hassle to go up and play higher competition? If anything, shouldn't we be punishing these D1 FCS schools that went down to D3 because on this? Shouldn't we punish these schools who went from D1 to D3 so they don't have to honor scholarships or anything like that? Shouldn't it be the other way around and rewarding the teams who want to play higher competition and the teams who decide to go play lower competition and go in a lower division get punished? Shouldn't it be that way? Or am I looking at things too logically for the NCAA to comprehend? We all know, which it would send shockwaves, but if Whitewater, for example, decided to leave the WIAC and go play Division II football and be a Division II conference, would the NCAA make them have to sit and wait? Or would they be postseason eligible right away for going up a division? That's the flaw in this system here. And honestly, I hope that the North Dakota State Bison do get to be playoff eligible. It's not like it's going to mean a whole lot because the way things have gone, we're never going to really see these smaller conferences ever stand a chance. They're just going to get slaughtered. A school like North Dakota State will probably be able to put up more of a fight, but yeah. And in the world of the NBA, I will briefly cover this before we do a very baseball-heavy show. And it is because it's the time of year where baseball is going to be taking up more. We have reached the time of year where it's pretty much going to be leading a lot more on baseball the further and further we go into the year here. But the NBA has suspended 4 players after a brawl in Detroit. Because they had a fight. So the NBA has suspended Stewart, Duran, Bridges, and debate after their brawl Monday night, which would be, so 2 days ago on the 9th, when they had an all-out fight in a brawl, the Hornets forwards Miles Bridges, New York Knicks legend, and Musa Diabetes were suspended 4 games for fighting and escalating an altercation, while the Pistons center Jalen Duren got 2 games for initiating the altercation and fighting. And Isaiah Stewart was suspended 7 games by the NBA earlier today on Wednesday afternoon. So there is that. That was probably the most action we've seen on a basketball court in a long time. Like, that's hands down got to be the most action we've seen for a very, very long time on an NBA court. Especially considering now, and we saw this again tonight, it's just, oh look, like, when I'm just grabbing the remote, yes, I know I'm holding my cell phone in my hand, but when I'm grabbing my remote and I'm going, hey, the Knicks are on. Let's see. Oh, it's 121 to 89. Next channel. Hey, the Bucks are on. Oh, it's 122 to 73. Next channel. Oh, it's 154 to... Wow, okay, yeah. You're getting the point? Basketball's gotten to the point of where, like, yeah, it's always been higher scoring, but it's because it's back and forth, but where's the entertainment in this? Like, what's the entertainment value in this? The regular season for basketball? With the NBA? I don't even take it seriously. I'll watch my team when they are actually on in the area because, well, I root for a team that's not in Wisconsin, so I don't get to watch them very often. But when I do, I do. However, watching the Knicks game tonight, I don't watch them a whole lot because I live here in Wisconsin. But when it's 121 to like 83 or something really bad like that, I quit watching by halftime. It was that bad. Like, I genuinely quit watching. I don't know what else I'm supposed to say other than the NBA right now, they got a problem. A lot of these games have become unwatchable because what's enjoyable about a blowout? Now, if the final score is 121 to 122, I'll crack a joke about how there was no defense, but at least it's a close game that's fun to watch. We're seeing this talent gap get bigger and bigger between teams like that now, and it's honestly really bad and depressing. But anyways, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is the greatest time of year. Baseball season is back. We made it. We got through another, and I mean it, another winter. So we did it. Baseball's back. We can all celebrate. There's peace and harmony. Dogs and cats living with each other happily. We've made it. Baseball is back. You know what's good when you got the cats and dogs and mice all singing in harmony the way Tom and Jerry did. But now comes the fun with the World Baseball Classic, where we get to see the game's biggest stars representing their home countries. Like Jackson Churrio's going to be in Venezuela. Team USA with Aaron Judge. Paul Skeens. Japan with Yamamoto. Otani, Murakami, the Dominican with Guerrero Jr. and Juan Soto. I think you're seeing the trend here. It's going to be fun. Oh yeah, don't forget Mexico with Rowdy Tellez. Okay, there's obviously better stars than just Tellez, but you can't go wrong with a Tellez bomb. Like, oh yeah, that's right. Joey Ortiz. Joey Ortiz for the Team Mexico. They will win off the Mexico's gonna win off the backs of Joey Ortiz and Rowdy Tellez, baby. Until they run into Team USA. Then Bryce Terang's gonna show them who's in charge. But we get to watch the World Baseball Classic. Do we not remember how beautiful the last one was? And how amazing it was? And when we were sitting there watching Mike Trout versus Shohei Ohtani and Team USA and Team Japan, and how just the pure utter beauty and stars from when we were kids. Like, we had Matt Harvey versus Yoenis Cespedes. It was beautiful. Like, it was beautiful. However, with that being said, with the teams that are in, this year's World Baseball Classic will also have implications for who makes the 2028 Olympics. Obviously, the United States doesn't have to worry about it because we're the host country. So, Team USA doesn't have to worry about WBC qualifications, but Japan, Puerto Rico, which, I don't know if Puerto Rico plays under their own flag in the Olympics, even though they're American citizens, so they could play for Team USA if they wanted to as well. Let's see, Nicaragua, but Brazil and some of these other countries are going to be fighting to go try and punch their tickets to the Olympics. So this year's World Baseball Classic will have even more implications than usual. And it's going to be a fun watch. I cannot wait to just kick back after a long day of work or classes, if not both, and know that I can just hop in front of my computer, since that beautiful box TV back there won't get it, and watch baseball, especially with the World Baseball Classic and spring training starting up here next week. But, that being said, we also no longer have regional blackouts. The Brewers will not be blacked out anymore. I am not limited to only the radio if I want for baseball. However, don't break out the grass skirts celebrating quite yet, guys. Like, don't start the celebrations yet, because remember last time this was happening, when FanDuel Sports swooped in and Antanasio took the gambling money. Well, this time around, well, you still can't watch them with just plain MLB TV out-of-market stuff, which, great. $150 for every game except the Brewers. Just what I wanted. But you gotta pay $100 for just Brewers TV, or probably I think it's $200 for every single game with MLB Network and the Brewers package on top of it, to where if they're not on national TV, you can watch them. But it wasn't originally sounding that way. Then they came up with it. They made Brewers TV. I should have known they were going to come up with some loophole like that, because God forbid Antanasio lets the fans watch it. Which also brings me to my next thing. I don't think he cares about the team, guys. Well, people are going to tell me how Mark Antanasio cares about the Brewers? I'm going to say he doesn't. Remember last year's the opening spring training press conference, and he said, "Is it my job to bring a family a summer of fun and enjoyment, or win a World Series?" Can it not be both, Mark? Can it not be both? Are you not able to try and help us enjoy winning a World Series while having a summer of fun? Like, we can have our summer of fun and win a World Series. Well, only one team wins every year. The last two was the Dodgers. However, it very much is, as the owner, your job to win the World Series. It's your job. Your job to win the World Series. Not mind the fan. Mind the fan is job. Our job as fans is to watch the product, to wear our Brewer gear, to have the stickers, to make our own posters, buy the cards, and keep the team here and root for them till we die. Your job as the owner, and it's only your job, Mark, is to go and buy the best talent you can on a budget. He has done the opposite in a way. Well, he's gotten good talent. It seems he's, which I guess he's done it differently, but he has, how am I going to say this? Okay, I know how I'm going to say this now. He has done a good job with getting some of the best talent money can get him when it comes to scouting and front office work. But, and I mean this, but, that's because he knows you don't have to pay them hardly anything compared to the players. Let's just go down the list, shall we? 2021. We're in the playoff race. Traded Josh Hader. Missed the postseason there. 2022, but then we turned around. We traded Corbin Burns. And then we traded Freddie Peralta. This year we traded Freddie Peralta. Last year we traded Devin Williams. The year before that we traded Corbin Burns. And then the year before Corbin Burns we traded Josh Hader, as I mentioned. So, with that being said, don't forget, then they traded two guys who finished 3rd and 4th in NL Rookie of the Year voting with Isaac Collins and Caleb Durbin. What makes no sense to me here with the Durbin trade is who's on 3rd. And I do not mean the bar in downtown La Crosse. I mean it as the baseball question. Who's on 3rd? Who is our 3rd baseman? Who's going to be the Brewers' 3rd baseman this year? Is it going to be Joey Ortiz? Is it going to be David Hamilton? Is it going to be Cooper Pratt? Ugh. But yeah, like if we pull it up on Baseball Reference here, we'll start with Cooper Pratt as one of our options. Stupid pop-up ads. But anyways, now if we look at it, Cooper Pratt was a 6th round pick in 2023 by the Brewers. And 2025 he was in Double-A, and in 120 games he hit 238. He hit 238. And he struck out 80 times. He's got a 343 OBP, a 348 slugging, a 691 OPS. 62 ribbies. He stole 31 bases. In his 3 seasons across the minors so far, he's got a .261 average with 115 ribbies, 172 strikeouts, 62 stolen bases. Basically, he's just a speed guy. Joey Ortiz, well, we know what he is. He couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. And the other one, and David Hamilton, I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah, David Hamilton. He's a second baseman and shortstop. He's now with the Milwaukee Brewers. And yeah, it's brutal. However, let's see, if we look at his offensive production, last year, in 177 at-bats, he hit 198. 198. The man couldn't even hit the Mendoza line. That should answer that for us. So we don't have an answer at third. At shortstop, what are we going to do? Jet Williams? So it can be Jet Williams now? Like last year, oh yeah, because they don't have anything from the pros other than got traded to the Brewers. Last year, between double and triple A, we'll look at just his triple A numbers, not his double A numbers here. In triple A, he went in 34 games, he hit 209. So clearly the Brewers are allergic to things here. He hit 209 with a 285 on-base percentage, a 433 slug, a 718 OPS. Let's see. He also had 7 dingers, 5 doubles, 28 hits. How many strikeouts? Yeah. 35 strikeouts. Oh dear Lord. He had 35 strikeouts to 28 hits in AAA. So ladies and gentlemen, well, Jet Williams has good upside, I think. I think he did. Same with these other guys. When's it going to fail? When is this going to fail? We gave away Caleb Durbin, and we know what he could do. We saw what he could do last year, especially at third base, both defensively and offensively. We also saw what Andrew Monasterio could do, and how he hit that home run that will forever live in Brewers history. But as long as the Brewers, in their current leadership, keep making these kind of trades, they will never win. Because Mark Antanasio, you don't care about the team. You never have, and you sure as hell never will. With that being said, I'm going to kick back, and I'm going to wait for baseball season. And honestly, when it gets here, I'm going to be ready. I'm going to be ready. Even when the Brewers are trading away their stars. And God help me when they trade away William Contreras. But until then, everybody, let's kick back and relax and enjoy the fact that baseball is back.